What's up guys? I've got not one keyboard, but two keyboards because Keychron put out a K3, both in an HE variant and the Ultra 8K. This one's got magnetic switches, and that's pretty cool. This one's got an 8 kilohertz polling rate. Otherwise, they're very, very similar. So let's check them out, starting with the 8K. So that's what we need, right? We need more Ks in our life. Okay, let me look at the box first though. Support all systems. Hell yeah, it does Linux, Mac OS, and I was surprised it says WinOS instead of just Windows, but you know, whatever. Each key is customizable online, that's correct. 8 kilohertz, precise and fast. It's a 75% keyboard, it's a low profile design, and they've got these cool wood accents on the edges for both of them. So I'm actually really excited to look at those because wood just looks great. Stickers that I'm gonna steal, make sure switch pins are straight before putting them in. That's very important, otherwise your switch isn't gonna work. And then we've got our little quick start guide. And then we've got our, right angle USB-C cable with dongle. I'll never get over saying the word dongle. It's such a dumb word. Nicely sleeved. It's got a ferrite bead. And it's a decent length. 6 feet? I don't know. I'm a big sucker for right angle connectors as well, and they just make it look so sleek. We've also got some accessories. This is a USB A to C adapter. And then we've got our dongle. We've got a screwdriver. Oh, you know, it's a really minor thing, and people probably have screwdrivers, but you don't always have like a little jewelry or glasses screwdriver. And they've got these really small tip sizes. I know all about that. And then we've also got, love to see it, it's a switch and keycap puller. And then some extra keys if you want to do like change your alt key or like Windows. Like is this covered with Mac stuff? Let's find out. An ultra slim wireless mechanical keyboard. I can attest to that. Oh, this is nice. 2-stage adjustable feet. They've also got some nice rubber feet on the bottom here. I like the bars myself, and they've got a couple on the top too. So if you're not using the adjustable feet, that's okay. You've still got some stickiness that's not gonna let the keyboard slide around as you're typing. I'm gonna put a bit of an angle on this bad boy. And I've just gotta say the wood accents are very pretty. As for the construction of the keyboard itself, it's the K series. So K from Keychron is typically their plastic models, which is fine, you know, especially when you're doing a slim, you want something to be light. I'm totally okay with using plastic instead of aluminum at that point. And there's not like, I mean, it's flexy, but you know, realistically, you're just putting this in a bag, taking it out, popping it down, typing some stuff up, and putting it back in. I like the white case. I love the wood accents with the lighter wood. I think it's a darker wood on the HE, so I'm excited to check that out as well. But yeah, I love the low profile switches. I really like the really slim keycaps. And the sound is different for sure because it's a little more like hollow, but I kind of like it. It's definitely not gonna sound as good as like a full fat keyboard. But I think if you're using this just on the go, it has a pretty unique sound that, yeah, I'm not crazy about it, but I don't hate it. If I heard someone typing on this thing, I'd be like, that sounds okay. Not much rattle in the stabilizers, that's good. These are all pre-lubed switches as well. Let me take one out here. Beautiful. These are banana tactile palms. The bump is like all the way at the top too, which makes sense for a low profile keyboard. I had to find some like that for switches on my own keyboard, and I'm actually quite fond of tactile with the bump all the way at the top. Call me crazy, I don't care. It's what I like, and you guys can hate me all you want for it. Is this hot swap? I think it is. Let's find out. Yep, it's hot swap. Okay, sick. Be careful when you're taking these out of your keyboard. The little white diffuser light that I'm guessing is for the RGB because the LED is north facing here. Mine popped out as I tried to get it out of there. Let's just pop that back in. We're good to go. As for the rest of the keyboard, all your switches and stuff are on the side here, and this actually makes a lot of sense why they did the right angle connector because the USB-C is on the side here, and so that's gonna pop in and then not like this big protruding cable out the side of your keyboard, which is great. And we've got a couple switches, Windows or Mac, and then the bottom one is Bluetooth, wired, or 2.4 gigahertz. The problem sometimes with looking at RGB keyboards here is we've got all these studio lights and it's a little hard to see. I can see it here and it looks good. The only unfortunate thing is you've got that nice diffusion on the switch itself. Let me take a look at that. Yeah, that looks great. But you're not gonna see that on these because they're not shine through. If you wanna actually take advantage of what looks like pretty solid RGB, both in the keyboard and in the switches itself with that diffusion, you might wanna change the keycaps, which is too bad because I actually really like these keycaps. I just wish they were either shine through or translucent in some other way, but that's okay. Overall, so far I'm pretty impressed. My only issue is I'm not a big believer in 8 kilohertz, not when it comes to keyboard and mice. I think 1000 hertz polling rate is more than enough. It's the one factor of latency where I don't see it making that much of a difference. I think you're better off finding a faster display or a better graphics card. But you know, if you really want 8K, do it. So let's check out the other keyboard that we've got right here. And then I'll do a typing test on both of them. This is the Keychron K3 HE. The branding worked. Let's open this bad boy. I love the little holographic, the foil symbol. That's great. Basically the same contents as we had in the other box. You've got your quick start guide, you've got your screwdriver, you've got your keycaps now in black, you've got your cable now in black. Love that the cables match the keyboards. That's a minor touch. Same with the dongles and the extensions actually too. And then the keyboard itself, I love how light these are, I really do. Man, it's more of like a walnut. I honestly wasn't sure if this was real wood or if these were just plastic just because of the way they're finished, but it looks like this is chipped away and that does look more like wood than plastic underneath. But regardless, I think they're pretty and I very much enjoy them. Otherwise, it's basically the same. You're getting the same kind of chassis with the multi-stage feet and the bar feet. You're getting the 75% layout with your F row up top and some arrow keys here and a page up, page down. This one's got their linear magnetic switches, the ultra fast limes. I think I like the sound of this one more, but the switch resistance is a little too heavy for me. Like, it's not bad, I can type on this just fine. I just wish they were a little lighter. Yeah, I prefer this one, the sound. I think what I'm hearing is I'm hearing the tactile bump. That's pretty good. Test the stabilizers. Also solid. These are all pre-lubed as well. And these ones are magnetic. So the big difference with these ones are, if you've seen like the Wooting HE or other Hall Effect or TMR keyboards, you know that they're analog. And so that you can, like, let's say you're holding W for WASD for walking around, you can push it down a little bit. And that's why these are linear instead of tactile, so that they have that full range of motion, but you can push it down like a little bit and your guy's gonna walk forward, and then you press it down all the way and he's gonna run. Kind of like if you had a thumbstick and you're pushing it forward a little bit versus all the way. I personally don't really need these things or want these things in my keyboards. I think they're a really cool, not even gimmick, I think they're a genuine feature that a lot of people actually utilize and use to the full extent. But for me, like, I've been gaming on regular keyboards for my whole life. And so the thought of like only slightly pressing a key to walk forward a little bit just feels weird to me. And so I don't know, it's not for me, but I do appreciate the technology behind it and what it's allowing new gamers or even old gamers that can learn new tricks, just what it's giving them in this modern day and age. So I think that's pretty cool. Okay, let's take the P for ploof keycap off. Nice and green. Wow, there we go. That took a little force, a little effort, but we're there. And as you can see, there's no pins because they're not using contact pins to see if you're making contact with anything. It's all magnetic. Just for reference, this one's got the pins because it's the regular keyboard, and then this one does not. It is, in fact, pinless. Well, let's see just how good the actual type feel is when I've got to, you know, actually type a message or word instead of randomly mashing keys with my fingers. After a word from our sponsor.
APOS Audio. Have you ever been at the beach? Everyone has matching towels and you think you see a rock under the dock? Well, that's not a rock. It's our sponsor, the APOS Rock Lobster. APOS's production team went back and forth with their community for months to ensure their rock lobsters deliver the right sound for rock, punk, metal, and indie music. Their signature sound comes from a balance between the natural mids, deep bass, and an emphasis on treble to get clear audio from cymbals. You can use them out of the box or pair them with a DAP or a desktop setup. So unleash clawsome sound with the APOS Rock Lobster, available now at the link in the description.
Okay, I'm not gonna warm up. I'm just gonna give it a go on the Hall Effect version first with the linear switches, and that'll be my warm up for that guy. And hopefully these both go okay. And away we go. 118, 99%. That's not bad. That's not bad. Let's see if the other one does any better. That one had the feet at the same height, so we're not going to blame anything about a height angle kind of thing. All right, and away we go. No! Ever so slightly better. 120, 99%. I made a small mistake at the beginning and kind of at the end. I do think I still prefer the sound on the HE with those switches, but I'm a big tactile guy as long as the bump is at the top. That's weird. I don't care. Like it or hate it, that's what I do. And I actually really enjoy it on a keyboard like this. These do have various like PET film and case foam and whatnot for some extra sound absorbing, but you know, when it's a thin keyboard, you're not gonna be able to fit quite as much of that in as you could something else. Overall, I mean, you could customize it a little bit. You can maybe tape mod it. I'm not sure. It's pretty slim already, but I'm sure you can, you know, painter's tape is pretty thin too. If I had to pick one, like that I strongly prefer, I'm quite torn. I think they're both beautiful. One thing to note, these both have the same 2600 milliamp hour battery. However, the 8K gets like 500 plus hours of battery life. The HE gets closer to 55. We're not sure if it's just because, you know, the switches require more power because they're always checking like what position they're at and whatnot, versus these are just kind of like on-off switches basically. If you're going to be running these on battery, which in all fairness, they're low profile slim keyboards. These are travel keyboards. Like, you will be running them on battery probably if you want to buy them, unless you're just looking for some super minimal desk piece or whatever. And so in that case, I actually really do care that the battery lasts for like hundreds of hours on this one and tens of hours on this one. That's a massive difference. And especially because, like I said earlier, I'm not too into the whole Hall effect or TMR analog switch craze. I'd go for the 8K one, and then I just wouldn't run it at 8 kilohertz. I'd probably just run it at 1000 hertz, and it would still do just fine. The best part is, if you're also having trouble deciding between the two and you're leaving it to price, well, good luck, because it's only about a $10 difference. And that's why I'm such a big fan of these, even if they're not really the keyboard for me. The 8 kilohertz one is $110. The HE one is $120. I think that's pretty reasonable. Like, yeah, they're plastic and they're not metal, they're not aluminum frames, but like, realistically, you know, if you're traveling, I would prefer something light anyway. You can find a similar wireless mechanical keyboard for about $100, maybe $110. And so I'm just happy to see those prices come down, because several years ago, we would not be talking about $110 for a keyboard like this. Overall, I'm quite pleased. I think one of the only improvements they could make is maybe try to hide the screws on the ends that seem to be securing the wooden accents on, but I don't know how else they'd really get those on there without them. Especially without it being something that you could easily take apart and tinker with. But overall, I think I like them quite a bit. I'm not gonna buy either of them. They're not for me. I don't travel very much, at least not with a keyboard. The only other thing that you should maybe consider when looking at buying either of these keyboards is there is a little bit more latency with the HE. When we measured it, that's what we got. Both on the Bluetooth and on the wireless. Ultimately, the HE is just gonna be a little more latency for you, but we're not talking about a lot here. So take that for what you will, make up your own minds, and maybe check out the Kickstarter if this video goes up fast enough. If it doesn't, maybe you can buy them from Keychron's website directly. I'm not 100% sure. The only thing I do know for sure is that this is ShortCircuit. My name's Plouf. These are keyboards from Keychron. If you want to watch another video like this, check out the NYX Hesper 64. That was weird. It's got these dual action keys. It was another like Kickstarter kind of group buy thing, and it's not for me, but it's an interesting design.